Welcome to Buxton, located in Derbyshire in the north of England. Step back in time and discover the end of the steam era. Climb aboard iconic living locomotives hungry for coal and water, and work hard on busy passenger and freight services across the Peak District. There's a route map over there. Fix that while you're here. There are more tasks to find. Be sure to pile up the luggage, refill bags of stone, and sample the Bakewell tart. Follow the markers to board the train before departure. Take a seat in the brake van. You can sit in any available seat. Buxton Railway Station was opened in 1863 to service two different railway lines. Midland Railway's Manchester, Buxton, Matlock and Midland Junction Railway, and LNWR's extension to the Stockport, Disley and Whaley Bridge Railway. Originally, LNWR and Midland Railway had wanted separate stations, but town planners were worried that two stations would damage the character of the town. Consequently, both station buildings were built side by side with identical frontages designed by Joseph Buxton. In 1867, an extension to Midland Railway's line allowed their passenger services to travel directly between Manchester and London for the first time, bypassing LNWR. In 1923, LNWR and Midland Railways were merged into the London, Midland and Scottish (LMS) Railway under the Railways Act. This would consolidate the 120 railway companies operating in the UK down to four large ones, known as the Big Four. The Big Four were themselves consolidated into the state-owned British Railways in 1948. Limestone, an important ingredient in lighting and construction, had been quarried for centuries in Buxton, and the arrival of the railway prompted rapid expansion of this industry. Tunstead Quarry, opened in 1929, would go on to become the largest quarry in Europe. This train is powered by an LMS Class 4F steam locomotive. They were first built in 1924 and are an iconic example of British freight locomotion during the steam era. During your journey as a driver on this route, you will learn to drive this locomotive, as well as the LMS Jubilee Class passenger locomotive and the LMS Stanier Class 8F, a heavy freight locomotive. You'll learn to haul a variety of different freight between the bustling yards and perform express passenger services whilst tackling steep gradients. Learn all there is to know about operating these iconic locomotives. Welcome to Train Sim World Peak Forest Railway, Ambergate to Chinley and Buxton. In this training module, you'll be learning how to drive an LMS Jubilee class steam locomotive. During this brief introduction, you'll be taken through the critical driving controls and performing passenger operations. When you're ready, climb onto the footplate. Take a seat at the driver's position. This is where you'll be spending most of your time. For this introduction, you'll be completing a full loop of the circuit and performing passenger operations when you reach the next stop. Let's prepare the locomotive for departure. The reverser determines the direction of travel and how much steam is consumed as the locomotive moves. Move the reverser into the full forward position. This ensures that you'll get the maximum amount of power to get the train moving. As you pick up speed, you will need to move the reverser to reduce cut-off. This will also aid in steam efficiency. To begin loading passengers, you will need to open the passenger doors. It's time to depart. Close the passenger doors. This locomotive has a combination brake that controls both steam and vacuum brakes. Steam brakes will apply on just the locomotive. Vacuum brakes will apply to the rest of the train so long as it is equipped with vacuum brakes. When a vacuum is created, this will release the brakes. The driver can use the brake handle to destroy the vacuum, which will start to apply the brakes. To create a vacuum, you should use the ejectors. The small ejector should be left open when the train is running. The large ejector can be used to more quickly increase the vacuum after coupling or heavy braking. Open the cylinder cocks to remove any. The regulator acts like the throttle for steam locomotives. It controls how much steam is delivered into the cylinders. Slowly open the regulator to apply some power. Remember that power delivery is delayed in a steam locomotive, and applying too much power too early will cause wheel slip. Now that the locomotive is moving, you can open the regulator some more. starting to pick up speed, move the reverser into mid-gear. This reduces the amount of steam let into the cylinders and saves energy. This class of locomotive was built between 1934 and 1936 and nicknamed Jubilee, after one of its class was named Silver Jubilee, in recognition of the Silver Jubilee of King George V. Up until the late 1950s, the Jubilee were the largest express passenger locomotives found running out of St Pancras in London. They could be found on main lines throughout the LMS network running express services, until later being displaced by the more powerful Royal Scot class. This locomotive has a tractive effort of over 26,000 pounds and has a top speed of 90 miles per hour. You're approaching the station. Let's prepare the train to slow down. Bring the train to a stop in the indicated position. Use the combination brake to apply some braking force to bring the train to a gentle stop. Now that the train has stopped, you can open the passenger doors. Good work. That concludes all the basics of operating this locomotive.